Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Hummel, it's the Tier 6 German SPG, and we're located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka, and this one is under the command of Angelina75. Now, as many of you have been seeing in this video, we're looking at a Hummel with a stock gun. That's the same gun, the top gun on the Gorilla, the Tier 5 German SPG. It's got a shorter range than the top gun on the Hummel, but it's a lot more accurate and it's got a different trajectory. And the problem is you have to get closer to the enemy in order to hit them accurately. And Angelina's moved forward to the bushes, right in the centre, so she can get close to the enemy tanks that are coming up nearby the centre line. And she's indicating where she's aiming at the moment, and the first target's turned up, P43. That's a Tier 5 Italian medium. Dialed in, round out. Oh, good hit! 241 hit points from a splash right in front of him. Okay, we know where he's going to be. He's going to be in those bushes or near the rock. There he is. We're almost loaded. She's indicating her target. And the P43 goes down to our gorilla. Okay, KV-122 right at the back of the map. Within range, direct hit. Right onto the engine bay. 122 hit points. I'm not sure if we can see the mark on the rear of that tank where it hit. All the smoke from the fires. And it looks like that KV-122's been hit again. He's more than likely tracked. In which case, Angelina can hit him again. Round out. And it landed on the railway tracks. Now, there's no sign that KV-122 was still there, but if he was, he would have been damaged by that shot. I doubt if he's still there now. More than likely, he's now dropped down into the tree line and is probably making his way up. Yes, he is. There he is. He doesn't want to get hit by Arty again, so he's moving. Oh, he slowed down and actually got hit for 221 hit points from a near miss. And it didn't track him, but it looks as if it did a lot of damage. He may have actually suffered critical hits there. He's getting pummeled. He's not a happy bunny. And look at that, T20 comes up and unfortunately goes into it. The T20 gets hit. And the KV-122 goes down. And she also picked up 206 hit points from the T20, who's still tracked. So she's picking up more assistance all the time. I don't think that T20 will still be there now, because he would have moved on by the time she reloaded. She's firing around anyway, just in case he was. And that's prudent. Just in case. Now, from where she is, she can hit, just get the back of the map where the Arty might be. Now, we know the enemy Arty is an M44, an M41, and a GW Panther. And she was having a quick look at the reverse side of that slope. Scores are still even. Looking around for an enemy. Okay, she's found a Thunderbolt. Now that's a Tier 6 American Premium. An M4 variant with more armor, so it's a little more difficult to kill. Round out. Direct hit. 212 hit points. It's a good strike. Right on the front. I think that probably would have taken out his driver. Certainly would have done damage to him. You can see the yellow mark. It's right above where the tracks are. That's where the shell impacted. She's trying to work out where he's gone. She needs a sight to see him. Cromwell B's pulled back from the centre line. Unfortunately, we're relying on that Cromwell B to find the enemy. Oh, we know there's somebody behind that tank. It's being pushed forward bit by bit. Okay, fire at behind the vehicle and gets a direct hit. So there's definitely a heavy pushing that, because it'd take a heavy to push a tank that big, a wreck that big. There's the Thunderbolt again. We're reloading, 21.8 seconds on the reload. She's got 14 rounds of HE left. Nope, that's the shell from the Gorilla, and unfortunately there was no joy out of that. That wreck's continuing to move. It's not a zombie. It's definitely being pushed along by something. And the round went in again, so she's picking up more damage. We don't know what's pushing it, but something's pushing that wreck along as extra armour. And it's not being very effective because, of course, the shells are raining in on that position. It's a dead giveaway that somebody is there. He really should learn that you only use Rex when you need to avoid the enemy. And she killed him with that shot. It was a KV-85. You only use Rex when you need cover from an enemy you can directly see. You don't push Rex along, which gives away your position. It's just asking for punishment. If there's a good Arty player around, they'll spot something like that and they'll use it. Now, a Wolverine was seen up there. We know the Thunderbolt is somewhere in that vicinity. We're looking for him. Hoping that he'll come into view. There's no enemy in sight at the moment. The Griller's actually trying blind shots on the other side of the battlefield. I think he's trying to find out where that SU-100 is. Ah, right, now we spotted the enemy on the reverse slope of the hill. And unfortunately they're out of range of Angelina's shell gun. Just too far. She had a grey line, which means obviously it's out of range. That's the problem with the 15cm stock gun. It does have very short range compared to the top gun. Now, somewhere around about there was the Wolverine. So she's firing for the bushes. She's blind firing. She's only got 11 rounds left, though. That's the problem. A limited amount of ammo left. You can only fire at so many blind bushes with blind shots before you use up most of the ammo you need for actual targets you can see. Unfortunately, we're 2 tanks down at the moment as well, and that is a problem. Right, there's an enemy we can shoot at, and it's a T-67 up on top of the hill, retreating rapidly, just out of range. Well, in range only for a second, but there's a target we can hit, and that's the Thunderbolt. She's dialing in. Round out. Direct hit right into the side, 204 hit points. So she's got 1.3k of damage so far that we know about. In fact, actually, considering the KV-85 was blind killed, I think that's probably nearer to 2k damage. And that T-67 is still up on the hill. She's going to have another go. Yes, she fired a round in where the Thunderbolt was, but all she appears to have done is hit the ground. The Cromwell's going to have a quick look, see if he can spot. What the Cromwell has seen, though, is a KV-2 right up on top of the hill. Oh, and he just derped one of our tanks. And there's the Thunderbolt again. Oh, we just lost the Cromwell B. He was our spotter. And no, that's going to land behind the Thunderbolt, but it stuns him. But the problem is now the Thunderbolt's on this side of the map, and of course that if Angelina fires, she's very likely to give away her position because she's very close to the enemy, within 150 meters of the enemy now, and that enemy is continuing to advance. So next shot will probably be the last one she gets if the enemy spots her, because remember she's got a 21-second reload, so that enemy will be all over her before she can reload another shot. He's obviously the other side of that ridgeline at the moment. If he pops over the ridgeline, she's in trouble. She does have backup in the form of a Nashorn, who's behind her on the end of the back of the map. But I'm certain that he's probably looking along the west side. Now, we just lost our Griller, and I think we lost the Griller to the Thunderbolt. Oh, here he comes. We're dialed in. He knows where we are now. Enemy Arty will be firing any second. Unfortunately, this is ouch. Yep, I predicted it. GW Panther, and the Nashorn finished off the Thunderbolt, but we're now badly damaged. We took a 189 hit point hit from the GW, and Angelina's managed to get her tracks back up, and she's moving. She is loaded. Oh no, there's the T20, the same T20 she hit before, and look, there's the marks from the impacts that she fired before. One in the turret, one on the front of the T20. So she did do a lot of damage to that T20, but he exacted revenge on her. And I don't think this battle's going to last much longer, because the Nashorn Yeah, he's gone down, and the last remaining teammate is a Lorraine 15550, and he's on the east side of the map, and the enemy hasn't found him yet, but they're bound to go hunting for him. He is moving. It looks to me like he's headed up the west side of the map. The problem with doing that, of course, is there's a KV2, or there was a KV2 up this end of the map, and if he comes into contact with that KV2, this could be a very, very short trip. Still nearly 5 minutes left on the game. Yep, the enemy is capping. Nope, they've decided not to cap. I think that may have been the T-67 travelling through the cap after looking in the far west side of the map. And there's the KV2, so we're not worried about the KV2. He has been taken out. What we're worried about is about the enemy finding the Lorraine. Once he's above this line here, it should be a little easier. He'll pick up speed. Now this Arty is based on the chassis of the Lorraine 40-ton tank. Now, he did move that wreck, but I'm not sure that would have given his position away. Looks to me like he's going to try and fire back on the cap, see if he can get some cap points or defense points. Oh, no, I think... No, he's decided he's going to move. Now this player does have a mark of excellence on his barrel, and he's found an enemy, but it's the M44, and he's bound to be loaded, and he has fired. He is loaded, and he's tracked the Lorraine, and the Lorraine is taken out by the M41, who's out of sight, but obviously was fully aware of what the M44 had spotted and fired his round very accurately to take him out. Okay, so that was the end of the battle. It was a defeat, and it was actually quite a good battle for Angelina 75 because she actually picked up a first-class tanker in this Arty. She also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 10, and she picked up a high caliber because she dealt the most damage in the battle, and most of that I think came from that KV-85 who she was smacking as he was pushing that wreck along. A very silly thing to do. So the win 8 for that battle was 3692. So let's have a look at team scores, see where she came. Top of the table when it came to damage, 2,075 hit points, way more than the GW Panther on the enemy team, who actually did hit Angelina during that battle. She also managed to get 2 kills, which puts her top of the table on her team. The T20 that actually killed her managed to get 3 kills. And when it came to base XP, she managed to get 583. The highest score on the enemy team was the Wolverine, followed by the T67 and the GW Panther. So unfortunately, because you're on the losing team, you don't pick up so much XP as you do on the winning team. So let's have a look at the detail. Fired 14 rounds, got 6 direct hits, 6 penetration. And that's because she was paying attention to the battlefield. She spotted that wreck being moved and pushed along, and she managed to put rounds into him accurately. She also accurately hit the KV-122. I mean, I think she did a fair bit of damage to that KV-122. Yes, 604 hit points off 1 impact. Well, I think it was more than 1 impact, but in fact it was several impacts. I don't think that tells the full story, but yes, she actually hit him on the railway line, and she hit him later on in the bushes. So, pretty good play. 2,075 hit points of damage, all at more than 300 meters. She did receive 1 hit from the T20, and it was a penetration. She also received a hit from the GW Panther, and that was by way of splash damage. She hit 5 of the enemy, but killed 2 of them, did 73 hit points of damage assistance, and hit 740 hit points of stun assistance, of 11 stuns. On a premium account, she earned 47,990 credits, got 6,317 credits because of Courageous Resistance. That's the equalising score because she managed to get an epic medal during the battle, which equalises her with that of the winning team, so it provides that for extra effort she does take home more credits. She also, after repair and ammunition resupply, took home 45,074 credits. She received 1 bond for the High Calibre. She earned 874 XP for the battle, 505 for the Courageous Resistance, means she took away 1,380 experience points altogether. So a pretty good demonstration of how to play the stock-barreled Hummel on Prokhorovka. You do have to get fairly close to the enemy. Unfortunately, being out in the middle like that means that you can't really run away, because if you do, you'd be spotted straight away. I'd prefer actually to stick in the tree lines on either side of the battlefield. If you're on the west side of the battlefield, you've got room to escape. On the east side of the battlefield, you really haven't got room to escape, but you've got a lot of trees between you and the enemy. But it is an interesting position, and it is another alternative that you could consider trying yourself. So nice battle there, Angelina. Just a pity that the rest of your team faded around you. You certainly proved that you could do it, because you got the high caliber and a first class tanker. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.